Hey YouTube, today we get some tips and advice to those cruisers that are like a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious. They might be first time cruisers or they might have only done like 1 or 2 cruises before and they're a little bit nervous about it. I get a lot of people asking me, Joey, there's like so much to do, like how do I do everything? Or like, oh, like I'm kind of feeling like anxious about the cruise. Is that normal? Having done 13 Atlantis cruises myself, having volunteered for Team Atlantis and meeting and helping every type of guest you can imagine, I'm gonna boil up and condense the essence, the core, the most important advice that I have for newer and first-time cruisers. First of all, especially if this is going to be your first cruise, just understand that it's going to be a new and different experience. You've never been on a cruise ship before, and that there will naturally be things that you won't know and you won't find out until you get on a cruise and kind of do things, and you'll learn and pick these things up as you go along. So it's completely normal to have some anxiety heading into the cruise, and you're not expected to know how a gay cruise is supposed to be. There's some things that are really good to know beforehand. I go through some of that in the video, and that's why I've got my other videos on my blog, JustJoeyT, that I'm gonna link down below as well. But for the rest, you'll just naturally pick it up during the cruise. I'm about to go on my 14th and my 15th cruise in the next few weeks, and even though I volunteered for Team Atlantis and worked with them for 4 of those previous cruises before, I'm still learning new things on every single cruise. I definitely picked up the basics and some of the more advanced stuff over time, but every cruise is a little bit different. The cruises evolve over time, and people and guests, the passengers, are also different as well, which leads me to my next point. Not everyone is gonna have the same cruise experience on every single cruise, and that's kind of a good thing, and it's kind of by design as well. One of the things I love about cruises is that there's something for everyone. There's so many different things you can choose and do on the cruise, and people have the freedom and ability to experience a cruise in the way that they want. Some people party all night every night, others want to wake up early to catch the sunrise with a cup of coffee. Some people want to get off at all the ports and do all the sightseeing they can do, and also do a lot of shore excursions. If you want to get me off the ship, you're gonna need to pay me. I think part of the anxiety that some people have, especially newer cruisers, come from social media and hearing other people talk about the things that other people should and shouldn't do on a gay cruise. I've heard people say, you shouldn't eat at the buffet all the time. You should log off your phone while you're on the ship. You should get off the ship and explore. Fuck all the way off of that. You do you, this is your vacation, don't enable their judgment. You wanna go to the buffet, honey, go to the buffet and eat all the garlic bread that I have and then ask for more. You wanna be on your phone, bitch, you drain that battery up and it's gonna feel so good. You don't wanna get on the ship, you know what the real stat is? Half the people on the ship don't get off anyways. Really serious, honestly, if you see me on a cruise, you'll probably see me at some point going to the buffet or going to the pizza place. It might be very late at night, and all I will be doing is eating and being on my phone at the same time. And to be fair, this is a two-way street as well. You know, let's have a mutual understanding that we're all gonna enjoy the cruise in our own different ways, and we're all gonna have a unique experience and not judge each other for it. My final piece of advice is for you eager beavers out there is to try to pace yourself a little bit. Like I mentioned before, there's literally something for everyone on a ship. That means there's a lot of stuff going on all at the same time, all day, every day. So in addition to all the amenities and activities that the cruise line themselves provide, Atlantis additionally has their own events on top of all of those. And they're like all these hot boys around, so there's like a lot you can do. It's actually quite easy to burn yourself out trying to do everything, but there is so much stuff going on. It can seem pretty overwhelming too. So if you do feel a little bit overwhelmed by how hectic a cruise is and all the different things that are going on, just know that it's not really possible to do it all, and it's not designed for you to do everything. The reason there's so many things going on is so that different people can pick and choose different things to do. Again, going back to the concept of everyone's gonna have a bit of a different experience on the cruise ship. My advice is to pick just a few things to do every day that you're on the cruise and spread it out over the course of the cruise, however many days that you're on that ship. And you can always do more if you have the time and energy. Related to that, if you're a nap person, don't feel guilty for wanting to take a nap, just do it. Again, there's so much stuff going on and people are running around so much that if you need a little bit of downtime, you know, totally go for it. The ship will still be there 30 minutes later, no one and nothing is going anywhere. Finally, for the party boys out there, and I'm kind of a party boy myself on these cruises, it's very tempting to close out every single party that's on the ship. There's gonna be at least one party each night of the cruise, and there's also the tea dances that are on some of the afternoons. I've learned how to pick and choose which parties I will stay late for and which other parties where, you know what, I don't need to close it out. So the white party, for example, is a staple of the Atlantis cruises, so that one is worth staying up a little bit later for, whereas for some of the other parties, maybe you can pick and choose which ones where you can turn a little bit earlier and get a little bit of extra sleep. So that's my top 3 advice for cruisers that are like a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious. You're not gonna be able to do everything, so really don't try. You're not gonna be missing out. You know, it's just not designed that way on a cruise for you to do everything. Pace yourself a little bit, just make sure you get some rest. Don't let other people place judgment on you for what you should and should not be doing on a cruise ship, right? Everyone's experience is gonna be a little bit different. And you know, cruise ships is kind of like a complicated thing. I've volunteered for Team Atlantis before, so I've seen some like the behind the scenes workings of like how an Atlantis or a gay cruise comes together. And even I still don't know half of like what goes into planning and making a cruise tick, right? So there's gonna be a lot of things that you might not know how it works or what it's gonna be like beforehand before you get on a cruise. But once you're on that ship, you know, the staff, the crew members that are on that ship are always super welcoming. There's gonna be the Atlantis staff there to help you as well. And a lot of it is just better to go with the flow and you figure out once you're on the cruise ship. So hopefully you found that advice useful. And I'm also gonna link down below my other advice videos for gay cruises as well. And I hope you can flip through some of those and you'll be better prepared for the next cruise you go on, whenever that is. And until next time, bye YouTube. We actually did a segment very similar to this. Do you remember?
Yes.
You were doing Lamb's makeup.
Yes.
And then you were asking Lamb what his drag name was, and his drag name is
Asiana Grande.
There we go.
Pasivo Grande.
What's your drag name? Do you have a drag name?
Asiana Grande.
For Asiana Grande.
Pasivo Grande.
Or Pasivo Grande.
Oh, you said the exact same thing too.
It was Pasivo Grande.
I need a visa. I need a green card.